Hello everyone, welcome back to Edubbey Global Solution. Today we will be discussing price determination and changes. Now, what do we mean by price determination and changes, and what does it related to? Now, our next slide says market equilibrium. Now, what do we mean by equilibrium? Now, according to this diagram we are looking, we have demand line and supply line. Of course, we have done demand and supply. Now let's see what market equilibrium is telling us. Market equilibrium refers to a situation where quantity demanded and quantity supplied of goods are equal. Wow. Where demand and supply are equal. Now in this diagram, here is our market equilibrium. Now moving to the next slide, we have just one activities here now to test us about equilibrium. Equilibrium price is the price at which what? Now the amount consumers demand is equal to the amount sellers supply. Is this so? Let us check the other option. Now the number of buyers equals the number of sellers. No, that's not it. According to what we just said here. Now everything that is produced is sold? No. Supply exceeds demand? No. The answer is the amount consumer demand is equal to the amount seller. Now moving to the next slide where we have the equilibrium price and quantity. Now according to what we just did now, according to the activities, we have equilibrium price is the price as which demand is equal to supply. Now as it is repeated here, we have the market equilibrium. Now our market equilibrium price is now the price at which demand and supply is being equal. Now equilibrium price is calculated as quantity demanded equals to quantity supply. Now we will arrive at our equilibrium price according to this formula. Now our equilibrium quantity is also the quantity at which demand and supply also intersect, which is also here. This is also here. We have the quantity 3 as our equilibrium quantity. Moving to the next slide where we have market disequilibrium. Now we have talked about market equilibrium. Now we move to market disequilibrium. Market disequilibrium occurs when the quantity demanded is not equal. They are not equal to quantity supply. Now when there is disequilibrium, there will be either shortage, which means demand exceeding supply, or surplus, supply exceeding demand. Now let us check. Here we have surplus, that is the supply exceeding demand here, where we have shortage, where the demand is exceeding the supply. Now moving to the next slide, we have an activity here. Is also part of your past question. Now the table shows the demand and supply schedule for rice. The current price is $2 per kilo. Now where is $2? We have it here. What will happen if the price is reduced to $1? Now let us check our schedule here. The current price is 2. Of course, you have seen it. Now what will happen to price if it's reduced to $1? Assuming it's reduced to $1 here. Now let us check our options. The supply schedule will shift to the right. Is that so? No. The demand schedule will shift to the left. No. The market will move from shortage to surplus. Is it from shortage to surplus? Let us check. Here our supply is exceeding demand, which means that it is surplus. Now here they will move from surplus to shortage, because as this price of $1, the demand is exceeding supply. Wow, that's good. Now let us move to the next slide where we have price changes. Of course, there are changes in price according to the condition of demand and supply. That is, when the market condition of demand and supply change. Change in demand will cause a change in price and also a movement along a supply curve. If you can still remember the law of demand and the law of supply, which states that according to the demand, we have the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded, and vice versa. And supply, the higher the price, the higher the quantity supply. Moving to the next slide where we have one past question here also. The diagram shows the supply and demand for a product. Suppliers have decided to produce 10,000 units and charge a price of $6. Now, what is the result of this decision in the short run? Now, let us look at this diagram. Suppliers will be left with unsold stock. Is that the answer? Let us look at it. Let's continue. A stable equilibrium price will be achieved. No. There will be excess demand at the price of $6. Is there an excess demand? No. The equilibrium market price will increase. Of course, no. If you look at this diagram, the supplier will be left with unsold stock. Now moving to the next activities here. We also have past question. The diagram shows a market for labor. X is the original equilibrium. Now let's check our X here. Now a trade union negotiates a minimum wage at W, and the government restricts the supply of immigrant labor. That means our supply will move to the left according to the decrease. Now, what is the new equilibrium? According to this diagram, of course it cannot be X, C, no. According to the restricts the supply of immigrant labor, the new equilibrium should be B, should be around B. Now let's check. Of course, correct. Moving to the next activities. We have the diagram shows the demand and supply for apples. Now look at this diagram. To what extent is the market for apples is disequilibrium at a price of $2.50 per kilo. Now, let us check the options. Supply exceeds demand by 200 tons. Is that so? Let us check. Is it by 200? So even if the supply exceeds demand, is not by 200 tons. Now, demand exceeds supplies by 400 tons. No, demand did not exceed supply here. Now, supply exceeds demand by 400 tons. I think this is the answer, but let's check the last option here. Demand exceeds no, supply exceeds demand by 400 tons. This will be the end of the class. Stay tuned to our website www.edubbey.com.